Well, happy Friday to you. It meets us here again in this wonderful holiday season. And just wanted to share some scripture with you today and maybe just what's going on in my life a little bit. And hopefully this brings some encouragement for you today. At the end of, we're gearing up for the end of the semester here at school. And with that, in my senior class, I give them a marriage project. And they have to come up with, they have to plan a wedding and do these different things. And so in that, they have to create a budget for after they get married and the way life is going to go. And it's interesting to see students come in and the careers they pick and the income they want and those sorts of things. And so it's interesting to me. They ask about how to be successful and how to do things. Some want to be entrepreneurs, some want to be doctors, lawyers, those sorts of things. So it's interesting. They come in with these ideas about those jobs and those occupations and stuff, and so they always have these questions. It's just a fun time that we get to share and get to really show some life. And so I got to thinking about that. They always ask me, what did I do before teaching? And I worked for Chick-fil-A for 10 years, and it was a great company and still is a great company. And I've learned so much, many life lessons. And so they taught me a lot about service. And so what I try to get across to the students is, if you want to be successful in any area of life that you go in, whether it's a nurse, a doctor, lawyer, if you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, a teacher, whatever profession, occupation that you pick, there are some certain things that you need to take with you that I think the Bible speaks into. What's interesting to me is, even in biblical times, the disciples, Jesus picked those 12 men, and even they wanted a hierarchy. They wanted to know. They wanted a flow chart of who was. There's Jesus, and then who's next? Who's under him? And so there are these brothers, James and John, and they're sort of vying for that position. They want to sit at the right hand of Jesus, and Jesus is saying, "You're missing the point." And then he would go on to tell them in verse 45 that, listen, the Son of Man came to serve, not to be served, and that he would lay down his life as a ransom for many. And so I really use that verse to communicate to the students that whatever occupation, wherever you are in life, if you want to be successful at what you do, learn how to serve people. Oftentimes throughout the scriptures, when Jesus was teaching, the Pharisees would try to get Jesus in sort of this paradox or paradigm where they would ask him these questions, and they would say, okay, what's the greatest commandment, Jesus? If you're such the teacher of the law and you have such authority, then what's the greatest commandment? And Jesus would go back to the Shema, what he learned as a little Jewish boy, and he would quote that for them, which basically says that you love God with all you have, all your heart, your soul, mind, and strength. And then Jesus would say, you got to love your neighbor as yourself. And so to get this idea of service across to people, now he was really challenging the fact that everybody thought it was about religion, and he was really pushing a relationship. And so I think for us today, in our culture, in our society, if we want to be successful, any area of life, we have to learn how to serve people. And I know that's maybe something that's even the people that aren't interested in the biblical life or interested in living, that they would even grab hold of that and say, yeah, that's probably right. If you want to be successful, serve people. So I can't think of a better season to bring that to you in Christmas. Remember, this is a holiday season. There are lots of families in need. There are lots of areas to give and to minister. So learn how to serve people. I think that would benefit us, it'd benefit our culture, it'd benefit our time. Instead of being such a self-centered culture that we live in today, if we could shift that and change that, what an impact we would have in advancing God's kingdom forward. So I hope this blesses you. Remember, keep worshiping, and God bless.